What up, y'all? Good morning. It's BX Juice. You already know I'm not a blood or crip, but none of that shit. I pop off regardless. I'm a Bronx kid, you heard? You're welcome to Regular Real Shit, Music TV. I'm your host, BX Juice. What up, y'all? Right now I'm going to speak about, starting from the bottom, now we here, you heard? Yeah. Starting from the bottom, now we here. What does that mean? What does that mean? Starting from the bottom, now we here. It's just what the title, just what the title says. You know what I'm saying? Starting from the bottom, now we here, man. I want to say, you know what I'm saying? Um, getting into getting into when I first moved out here to Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Leaving New York City, man. Um, that wasn't planned. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't a planned thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, by the way, too, I want to say that this is like part two to relationship exes and new partners. You heard? So with that being said, yeah, like I said, it wasn't planned for me to come out here to stay. You know what I'm saying? This was like 2013. You know what I mean? Um, 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 my sister was already out here. You know what I'm saying? And she was staying out here. My nephew got rest up, Ishmael. You heard? My nephew Izzy. You heard? So they was already out here in Connecticut. They've been out here, I think, for like a year, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling in NYC where I be. You know what I'm saying? Bronx, you heard? And, my sister called me, man, on some old, Julius, one of my friends want to talk to you, da-da-da. You know how that shit go. And boom. So that's what got me to come out here to Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? So, I came out here and met Shorty and shit like that. She had 2 kids and shit. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was light or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shorty was Jamaican and shit, so it was whatever. You know what I mean? So I was chilling with her. It was good for a little minute. We stayed together for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I was bringing my son Romello at that time. Romello probably was like 10, 11. You know what I'm saying? I was bringing him out here too, because there's no way I'm gonna be taking care of other people's children and ain't gonna go get my own son. That's not gonna happen. That never happened. So, I was bringing my son out here to play with, meet her kids and stuff like that. So we was chilling for like 2 years. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I really wasn't feeling Shorty like that. You know what I'm saying? I was really just coming out here to see what she was about, really. You know what I'm saying? But we did stay together for 2 years. During that time, I had got me a job and shit, working in Splash. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me let y'all know, working in the car wash out here is different from working in the car wash in New York City. It ain't the same. Money ain't the same. Money is different and all that. So I just want to put that out there. So yeah, I got me a job working there. You know what I'm saying? So I started making money and shit like that. So after the time and shit, we parted ways. I went my way. I wound up leaving and shit like that. So, but I still was working, and I didn't come back to New York City because I was saying to myself, damn, I don't want to go home tomorrow and have to get up and look for work. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to have to do that. I wanted to so I made a decision: go look for work or wake up in the morning and go to work. So I chose to wake up in the morning and go to work. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I'm chilling. As I'm done with Shorty now, and like I said, I ain't trying to stay in nobody's house and none of that shit. So I went my own way. You know what I'm saying? My sister was right there in Springdale with me, but I went my own way. Like I said, I met this dude and shit, you know what I'm saying? Meeting niggas throughout my time, you know what I'm saying? Some was cool, whatever, you know what I mean? He was all right, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We clicked a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And, at that time, I ain't really had nowhere to go. So, he was like, I let him know, like, yeah, son, you know, anywhere out here, you know, rooms or whatever. He was like, yo, son, I got a room out here, you know what I'm saying? Da 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 da. Yo, Juice, son, you can come chill with me, you know what I'm saying? You're a cool nigga, da da all this and that. I'm like, all right, bet, you know. That was good. So I moved from Springdale and moved to the west side of Connecticut now, in Stamford, Connecticut. So I moved to the west, you know what I'm saying? I'm over there for a little while. Homegirl, you know, it was a girl house, a woman house, had her own house. She was driving a school bus or whatever. She had her baby father staying with her still and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I guess the nigga that I was cool with, he had a room up there. So I guess he was letting me rock in the room. So I was paying her, you know, no problems. You know what I'm saying? Come from work. She didn't even got to ask me for no money. I just come up to her, yo, here go the money I owe you, sis. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Boom. And I was doing that for a minute. That shit lasted for maybe like a month and a half. Um, you know, fuck around and, you know, this nigga, he started bringing this chick over. Like I said, her baby, the lady that was on the house, her baby father was living. So I was rocking with him a little bit. He was coming out, you know, on the balcony, we smoking and shit like that, listening to music. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, I guess they wasn't together though, whatever. So, you know, and the nigga that brought me there, he running around doing whatever he doing. So whatever. You know, he brought this shorty through. Next thing you know, nigga bring this shorty through. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So I'm out and she looking at me, feeling my style or whatever. I'm rhyming and doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm from New York. So, you know, one thing went to another. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, next thing you know, shorty was on my shit hard. You know what I mean? And, you know, nigga was all drunk and all that, you know, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Nigga fell asleep and all that. Left shorty out there with me and OG, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You know, one thing led to another, that was that, you know what I'm saying? You know, did what we did, you heard? But he was telling me that he was fucking with shorty or whatever. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? Obviously he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So we end up rocking, me and Shorty. She end up beating me shit every day, you know what I'm saying? Bringing me food and all that every day. Now, this nigga sober. Every day he seeing what's going on. So, you know, she feeling me, I guess. So, she bringing me food, weed, whatever I want every day. You know, so some everyday shit, my nigga. So, boom, you know, I guess that nigga started getting jealous, a little bit jealous or whatever, and tight or whatever. But nigga didn't want to say nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? He just got tight on his own, whatever. Trying to, you know, spazzing out a little bit on Shorty, whatever. But Shorty ain't give a fuck. She still was coming through, bringing me shit. So yeah, so I'm rocking in there for a little minute, you know what I'm saying? And you know, next thing you know, this girl that worked, Lydia, her daughter come back, and whatever. Shit's got a little crazy, whatever. They was on my shit, whatever the case may be. So, you know, one day I'm chilling on the front porch with Shorty and shit, whatever. Now the lady of the house comes out. You know what I'm saying? She drunk, I guess this time, was drinking, had her hair done and all this and that. Yo, I'm still I'm on there with Shorty. She comes out there and just starts talking to me like, yo, what's good? I want to fuck with you. Da 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 da. She was saying, she just was loose with it because I guess she had a little bit of drinks. So she was, you know, just, and that's the first time I ever see her even act like that. I've been staying there for like a month now, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never see her do that. She never cared. I just pay her money, whatever I gotta give her, and that was that. I ain't never knew she felt like that till that day. She came out there like that. I was like, oh shit, right in front of Shorty's face. So boom, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really get the drift, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking her baby father, even though she telling me she don't fuck with him, they don't fuck with each other. Come on, you know they still be fucking around. That's what I'm thinking. He's still in the room with you, so that's what I'm thinking. So I ain't take her serious. But she came out there like that. Like, I want to fuck with you. Her hair was done and all this and that. This and Shorty right in her face. So boom, nothing led to that, whatever. No, next thing you know what I'm saying? I guess they all got jealous in there, whatever the case may be, including the nigga that let me, you know, that put me up in there. Because he got mad because me and Shorty on my shit. So whatever. I ain't give a fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm still working, whatever. And you know, next thing you know, I go to work one day, I come back, I can't get my shit. Shorty that own the house don't want to let me in because she found that I ain't fucking with her. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. She ain't want to let me in to get my shit. So I had to do the legal way. I had to call the cops. They came. Yo, you guys, you can't lock your shit up in there. You know what I'm saying? They gave me my shit, told me go up there. I got my shit. Mind you, I don't know nobody out here. This is the first time I'm out here in Connecticut. I'm fresh out here. I've been out here for 2 years, but I was with Shorty. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just like with nobody on my own. I'm still out here. So I don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So whatever the cops tell me about the shelter, whatever, tell me about the shelter shit. So I go to the shelter. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the shelter for a little while now. The shelter's in the south end of Stanford, so now I go to the south end. I'm in the shelter for a little bit, had to throw away all my shit, you know what I'm saying, just to fit my accommodate there, to fit the little bit of shit that I had up in there. So boom, I did that. But I was in there for a little while, for like a week. You know what I'm saying? Bagged this shorty, bagged this girl, her sister. You know what I'm saying? Well, her sister, not y'all bagged her, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, she had a house over there. She wasn't living too far from the shelter, so I bagged that. She took me to that house. Yo, look, we can go smoke over here, da da da. So you know, I go, we smoking in the backyard now. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in the south end. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with Shorty. Boom. Next thing you know, she bring her sister downstairs, this down the third or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I end up beating both of them. If you want to just put it like that, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Um, But in time, you know what I'm saying, Shorty, she had my son Juju, you know what I'm saying? I had Uriah, so we just stopped that and I just left it alone with that. You know what I'm saying? And and that's it was coming to the end really with our type relationship. We went through a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, with her and the kids and her mother and whatever the case may be, and she had to do a lot of she had to deal with the DCS and all that. So she wound up dealing with that. I wound up parting from them, you know what I'm saying, and doing my own thing. By this time I had my van, you know what I'm saying, and I had my van and I had my bike too. I had a bike, first bike I ever bought. You know what I'm saying? It was a 150cc, but I had one. Boom. So I always had the van and the bike. And they was out there doing what they stuff. I'm parted away from them now, and they doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And with the kids and whatnot with their apartment DCF. So I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't have nowhere to stay at. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, remember, I ain't in the shelter no more because I went with Shorty and them. I was chilling with them for a little while. Uh, you know, and as you can see, she messed around and got pregnant, had Juju. So, now they, like I said, they over there. So now I'm by myself. I got the van. My van is not registered. My bike ain't registered, but I'm good with the scooter because in Connecticut, you can ride scooters with no problem. As long as you don't get in no accident, none of that bullshit. So, boom, you know what I'm saying? So now, I got my van and I got my bike, man. So now, I ain't got nowhere to go. So right where I'm at, it's a park, little park right there I could sit in. So I used to sit in there, you know what I'm saying, break day and shit like that. Sometimes I ain't have nowhere to go. I'd be in the van and shit, of course, because my van had a bed and a TV and everything in there. But sometimes I just sit outside and shit, but boom, or I get on my bike and I'm riding around or whatever the case may be. And then I get in the van and then watch TV or play my game, smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. My van was hooked up. I just didn't have it registered. Boom. So, I had to get it off the street as fast as I could. They wasn't fucking with it for right then and there where I had it at. So, boom. So I fuck around, you know what I'm saying? And I had bagged this fucking chick at one time. Some chick, you know what I'm saying? She looked like she was these chicks out here be doing drugs and shit, but she looked at her eye though. But whatever, I bagged her, whatever. I see how her style was or whatever. But I ain't call her in a minute. So that day I just thought about her, boom, and I just called her. She was like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I need a place to bring my van to. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in the back, I'm gonna be right there in the yard or whatever the case may be, and run some electricity for me. She's like, yo, bet we can do it. My mom's got a house out here in Glendenning, and that's Glendenning's like in Norwalk, still in Connecticut. So now I'm going towards Norwalk. Boom. So boom, I go towards Norwalk, got the backyard, but I also got my bike, remember? So I bring the car, the van up there, then I go have somebody bring me down. No, I jumped in the cab, took me back to my bike, and I rode my bike back up there. Boom, now I got both of my vehicles with me, and I'm in the backyard. So I'm playing shorty and shit. I paid her a little for a week and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was chilling for a minute. My window was busted out because I had went through a lot of shit out there in Stanford with the police and this, that, and the third. But they had busted my window out. So when I was up there, my window was busted out. But I wound up getting that shit fixed. You know what I'm saying? Then eventually I had to go from there because her mom was getting kicked out or whatever. Boom, so I'm down, I'm back down I'm still up there, my van is still there, but I'm on my bike, I ride my bike around. So I'm down there in the park and shit, chilling on my bike, just thinking about what the fuck I'm gonna do next. So boom, it was this girl coming by, you know what I'm saying? She walking by, whatever. So I bagged her, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what's good? What's your name, son? You know what I'm saying, shorty? Yo, whatever, such and such. All right, my name is Juice. What's good? You know what I'm saying? We talking, you know what I'm saying? And I'm letting her know. I'm like, yo, look. I ain't looking for no relationship or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling right now. I let her know a little bit what happened with, my son and them or whatever the case may be. But I let her know ultimately I wasn't looking for no relationship. So boom. She said the same thing. Oh, I bet I ain't looking for no relationship either. Da 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 da. But of course she feeling the kid, so you know what it is. So boom, I told her like, yo, but listen, I got my van up here in Norwalk. You know what I'm saying? If you got a house, like yeah, I got a house or whatever. Like, all right, that's what's up then. You got a house. I said, yo, look, I could go get my van. It's not registered, so I need I need a yard to put it in because I gotta leave from where I'm at right now. So she's like, bet, no problem, bring that van to my house. So she had her friend, I drove my bike and her friend followed me. Um, no, I think I left my bike in her crib and right, that's what I did. I left my bike in her crib in the backyard and her friend drove me back up there to Norwalk. I grabbed the van and they rode behind me and I drove down there. You know what I'm saying? Boom, put the van in the backyard. Now I got a new place to be at. I got a new place. This is what I was going through out here all this time. You know what I'm saying? For the people that don't know in New York, my peoples and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, now I got me a backyard. I got my van down there safely. Got my bike with me, and I bagged the shorty. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't trying to be in no relationship. So basically, you know what I'm saying? I end up going through a lot of shit with shorty. You know what I'm saying? Because she was in there with her children, but her kids is older. Like at least what 3 girls. Two of them lived there. 2 of the girls lived there, and her son lived there. You know what I'm saying? And her son had his baby mom living there. You know what I'm saying? One of her daughters had a son, and her son had a daughter or whatever. So she got 2 grandkids. So uh, I'm chilling in whatever, but I'm telling Shorty, yo, I'm supposed to be paying her every week. So I told her that. I said, yo, look, I can give you some money every week, as long as I can leave my van back here. You know what I'm saying? You let me run electricity through. I'll pay you every week, $100 and something. So she was like, bet, but she still wanted to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. Next thing you know, but I was chilling in my van for a little bit out there. Next thing you know, that led to that. And, Shorty, everything was going all right, but, next thing I'm going, she got a lot of grown kids in there, and they girls on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm a new face, so, a lot of crazy shit started happening in there. You know what I'm saying? It was wild in there, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. A lot of stuff I just don't really want to speak about. But this is what I was going through, Shorty. I had to, I took a peep at her, Shorty. I found out Shorty drunk. She was a drinker. People that drink bring problems, you know what I'm saying? Relationships, any kind of relationship, even if it's a family member. When people get drunk, you can't control them. You know what I'm saying? Not that you want to control them. They can't control themselves. So, you don't want to hurt them or nothing like that. So you end up having a problem with them every time they drink. So, and that drinking shit changes people. So, that's what I seen in Shorty, you know what I'm saying? So that threw me off from her right there in the beginning. But she was sweating me. She was on my shit, and she liked me, you know what I'm saying? She was all right, but I ain't like that drinking shit. When she wasn't drunk, then like everybody that drinking have that problem. When they ain't drunk, they fine, you know what I'm saying? She was fine when she wasn't drunk, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit more I had to go through with her family, her daughters and shit like that. A lot of shit, because it got crazy in there. But I ended up staying with Shorty for about, I ended up staying with her for about 3 years, you know what I'm saying, 4 years. And not even in a relationship, that's why I end up parting from her, so I had got rid of the van, you know what I'm saying? By the time I stayed with my different bikes. I had got me a new bike. But I had got rid of my van because some shit had happened with the transmission or whatever the case may be. So now around this time, you know what I'm saying? Around this time, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really feeling Shorty like that I'm fucking with. It's been 3 years now, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I ain't really feeling Shorty like that we've been together. Matter of fact, it's been like a year and a half that we've been talking and shit like that. And I'm like, damn, we still chilling, but it's starting to get bad because of her family there, her daughters and her son, all them there. They do a bunch of stupid shit. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So I end up, I end up bagging this other chick, you know what I'm saying? Bagging this chick, you know what I'm saying? She was chocolate, you heard? She was chocolate, you know what I'm saying? Working in the auto advanced auto and shit. She was a manager up in there. You know what I'm saying? I used to go in there. I had to go in there to get parts and shit I needed for the my Jetta, because I had the all black on black Jetta, the Volkswagen shit, dope shit. I forgot what year it was. I think it was a 16. I think 2016 or something like that. But my shit was crazy. It was dope. I liked it. All black on black. Um, I was in there buying stuff for the Jetta. You know what I'm saying? And I seen chocolate up in there, and I'm like, dang, shorty dope right there. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I think I came in there. I don't know. I don't think I got her number that day. I think I got her number the next time I end up coming in there. I end up getting her number and shit like that. Because I had to go in there for something. But I wound up getting her number, and me and Shorty started talking. You know what I'm saying? But I was still chilling with Shorty over here. My van and shit was still in. I mean, my Jetta now. Now I got the Jetta. Was still inside the. Was in the thing right there. So but me and her talking, I bag her. Me and her talking now, so she there. But like I said, I'm still with Shorty. But now, so a lot. I started going through a lot more drama with that Shorty right there. 2 years done passed, 3 years done passed. I got tired of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? By this time I had got rid of my Jetta. You know what I'm saying? The chocolate that I had bagged in the Vance Auto, I didn't see her for a while. You know what I'm saying? I had, I was still back and forth in New York too. I was still going to New York a lot. So, and then I got myself into some shit out here with the cops, like I told y'all. Got into some shit with the cops and shit like that. So I ended up having to, go to court. They wanted to take me to trial and all that for what I had went through when they bust out my windows and shit like that. So I wasn't trying to do all that trial shit and all that. So I just copped out and to the fucking to the BB gun that I had. You know what I'm saying? They found in my car that time. So I just copped out to the BB gun, you know what I'm saying? And they wound up giving me 2 years probation, but I only did one, you know what I'm saying? And during that time, I didn't see the chocolate shorty that I bagged. I used to, go in there and get her, you know what I'm saying? Me and her, I drive her home. She told me she lived in Bridgeport, so, I bring her, take her home from there, you know what I'm saying? Pick her up. We be smoking crazy weed and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'd get on the highway, drive her home, shit like that. And I was feeling Shorty a lot too, man. I liked her too. So, you know what I'm saying? She was chocolate too, chocolate joint. So, but I was chilling, doing that for a little while with her, taking her home, dropping her off if I can. You know, but like I said, I'm still dealing with Shorty over here, man. You know what I mean? And then I'm still doing shit, you know what I'm saying? So I wound up getting locked up, man. One day too, Chocolate Shorty, I was taking her home too, man. I think it was like nighttime, man. I was on the highway in the Jetta, you know what I'm saying? All black on black, you heard? And I pulled over, you know what I'm saying? And that's how much I was feeling her, man. I pulled over, you know what I'm saying? Know why I was pulling over, you know what I'm saying? I had her get out, she got out, gave me a big ass hug and shit. The arms around the neck type hug, you know what I'm saying? And, I remember that shit with her, you know what I mean? And jumped back in the car, she was smiling, she liked that, you know what I'm saying? And we jumped back in the car and I took her home, dropped her off, man. And, I got into some shit still, you know what I'm saying, out there at that time, like I said, with the police. So I wound up not seeing her no more, man, and couldn't call her, You know how your file that go, you get locked up, your phone, cops ain't, you ain't getting to your phone no more. So, later on I found out that she was calling me and shit like that, but whatever, so I couldn't see her no more. I was still dealing with Shorty a little bit, but I wound up bailing out and whatever. So, I haven't seen her. So like 3 years done passed by now. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling or whatever. 4 years done passed. I haven't seen Chocolate, you know what I'm saying? And now I got rid of my Jetta, man. And me and Shorty relationship still is mad shaky now. Now I'm just at the end of it. Man. Now I'm just at the end of it, you know what I mean? And I'm just ready to go. Yo, but it's gonna be a part 2 to this, yo. You already know it's BX Juice. I'm not a blood or a crip or none of that shit. I pop off regardless. I'm a Bronx kid. Y'all already know, yo. I'm about to finish it off later on, you heard?